Hello? I want to tell you something honestly. In trading, the biggest mistake of the majority of traders is not entering the wrong trade. It is reacting too fast. Reacting to a green candle, reacting to a stop-loss sweep, reacting to a small shake that the market intentionally creates to pull you out of your plan. And if you truly understand the power of not reacting in trading, you will step into another level, not the level of winning more trades, but the level of no longer being controlled mentally by the market. Because the market is just like the world out there. It always wants you to react. It lures you with opportunity. It scares you with fear. It teases you with unfairness. It makes you feel that you must do something immediately. And most traders really do something immediately. They press the button. And not because they have an edge, but because they cannot endure the feeling of standing still. Cannot endure the feeling that I am missing out. Cannot endure the feeling that the market is teasing me. But you must remember this. In trading, every impulsive reaction has a price paid in money, a price paid in confidence, a price paid in nerves, a price paid in the very future you are building. And the sad truth is, most traders do not realize how much they have lost just because of reactions. One jump into a trade because of FOMO breaks the structure of an entire week. One stop moved because of fear distorts the whole system. One loss held because of hope sends the account on a trip through hell. So, today I want you to slow down and listen carefully. Because if you understand this lesson, you will become the kind of trader who is not easily shaken, calm, clear, disciplined, and especially not reactive. Not because the market is easy, but because you no longer let the market pull you like a puppet. Let's begin. Part 1. Lesson 1. In trading, reaction means the market is controlling you. When a strong bullish candle makes your heart beat faster, and you enter a trade just because you are afraid of being late. When price jerks down a few pips and you panic, and you close the trade too early. When price moves against you 10 pips and you feel uncomfortable, and you move the stop loss. That is not trading. That is being manipulated. You think you are making a decision, but in reality, the market just pressed a button inside your head, and you jumped. Many people think reacting fast means being sharp. But in trading, yes, reacting fast often means being weak. Weak because you have no pause. Weak because you have no space to think. Weak because you cannot endure uncertainty. Do you want me to make this clearer with an example? Meet Ethan. Ethan is a hard-working trader. He studies many patterns, knows support and resistance, knows trend lines, knows risk management. But Ethan's account goes up and down like waves. One day, Ethan saw gold spike strongly on M15, a long green candle, volume increasing, news also heating up. Ethan heard a familiar voice. Enter. If you don't enter now, you will miss it. He entered. No confirmation, no plan, no clear stop-loss placement, only reaction. 2 minutes later, price swept down. Hit stop. Ethan was angry. He entered again, this time with larger size because he wanted to recover. Price swept again. Ethan got heated. But he began looking at the chart as if looking at an enemy. And by the end of the day, Ethan did not lose because of bad analysis. Ethan lost because he reacted. He thought he was fighting the market, but in reality, he was fighting his own nervous system. The solution for lesson 1. The 5-second rule in trading. Next time you see a candle that looks very beautiful, do not press immediately. Do not. Just pause. Breathe in. Breathe out. Count 5 seconds. In those 5 seconds, you are doing something extremely important. You cut the strings. You regain control. And you give the brain a chance to move from emotion to logic. You can still enter a trade, but if you enter, it is a decision, not a reaction. And in trading, the difference between a decision and a reaction is the difference between survival and being crushed. Part 2. Lesson 2. Most reactions in trading become regret. Have you ever experienced this feeling? You enter a trade. Just a few minutes later, you wish you could go back to the moment before and slap yourself. Not because the market is cruel, but because you know very clearly, I did not follow my plan. I reacted. In life, it is the same. People do not suffer because of what happened. People suffer because of how they reacted when it happened. In trading, it is exactly the same. You do not carry that candle. You carry the feeling that you press the button in panic. You do not carry that losing trade. You carry the question, why did I break discipline? Once again. And the most dangerous thing is, one wrong reaction does not only cost you money, it costs you trust in yourself. A little lost, then a little more. Then one day you look at the chart and no longer know what to believe in anymore. Because, even when you analyze correctly, you can still destroy it yourself just because of reaction. Meet Olivia. Olivia has a fairly clear system. She only enters with confirmation. She places fixed stop loss. She has a clear RR ratio. But Olivia has one weak point. She hates the feeling of being stopped out. And the market always hits exactly that place. One evening, Olivia entered a sell trade. Structure good. Entry correct. Price moved in her direction a few pips. She felt relieved. Then suddenly, price bounced up quickly. Just a normal pullback. But in Olivia's mind, it was no longer a pullback. It was danger. Her heart beat. Her hands felt warm. Her eyes stuck to the screen. And the familiar voice whispered, "Close it." And fell strongly, fell beautifully, and the fell strongly, fell beautifully. And the most painful feeling arrived. Not pain because of losing money, pain because she was right, but she was not steady enough to receive the reward. That is the kind of pain when you realize the problem is not in the market. It is in yourself. And here is the trap. When you close early because of fear, you feel relief for a few seconds. But after that, you pay with hours of self-blame. And what will you do next? Many people enter a loop. Regret to want to recover, to re-enter, to react again, to lose more. Not because they lack knowledge, but because they cannot endure emotion. In trading, what kills you is not a losing trade. What kills you is prolonged emotional reaction. One wrong button press leads to a chain of wrong button presses. One broken discipline makes your discipline softer, and softer a little each day until it breaks. The solution for lesson 2, practice response instead of reaction. You must practice saying this sentence in your head the moment emotion rises. This emotion is real, but this action is a choice. Yes, you are afraid. Yes, you are uncomfortable. Yes, you feel offended by that candle. But do nothing at that moment. Allow the emotion to appear, but do not allow it to drive your hand. In trading, the pause is freedom. You can use a very simple process. Step 1. Stop your hand. Do not add trades. Do not close trades. Do not move. Stop. Step 2. Breathe 10 breaths. Just 10 breaths. But enough for the nervous system to cool down. Step 3. Ask one single question. Am I reacting to the market or reacting to fear inside me? Many times you are not afraid of the market. You are afraid of the feeling of losing. You are afraid of the feeling of being wrong. You are afraid of the feeling of not being in control. And when you see that clearly, you begin to separate yourself from the wave. You begin to be a trader, not prey anymore. Step 4. Act only according to rules, not emotion. If the system says hold, then hold. If the system says cut, then cut. You do not need to be right in the moment. You only need to be right in process. Because in trading, right process is what creates right results in the long run. And here is an uncomfortable but true principle. The market does not need you to react. The market only needs you. To be consistent. Part 3. Lesson 3. In trading, silence is a superpower. The world loves noise. The market too. Candles running fast. Hot news. Chat groups exploding. Everyone talking. Everyone shouting. And you feel that if you do nothing, you are losing. But the strongest trader is not the one who trades the most. The strongest trader is the one who can sit still while everyone else is going crazy. Sit still not because they are lazy, but because they clearly see, this is not my time yet. This is not my setup yet. This is just noise. Meet Marcus. Marcus trades with a very strict plan. He only trades 2 to 3 times per week. One day the market became highly volatile. Long candles. Everyone entering trades. Friends texted, "Bro, did you enter yet? This opportunity is rare." Marcus looked at the chart. As he saw one thing, price was in the middle of a zone. No confirmation, no clear edge. He also felt emotion. He also heard a voice. Enter. Just one trade. But Marcus did something different. He stayed silent. He left the screen. He drank water. He walked for 5 minutes. When he came back, the market had swept both sides. His friends either got stopped out or got pulled into overtrading. Marcus did not win a single trade that day, but he won something bigger. He kept his peace. He kept his discipline. He kept his capital. He kept his future. That is the superpower. Silence before noise. No reaction before volatility. No jumping with the crowd. The solution for lesson 3: use silence as a weapon. In real practice, what does this mean? It means you must have a no-trade list. Sounds strange, right? Everyone has entry conditions. But mature traders have one more thing. Conditions not to trade. For example, if price is in the middle of a range implies do not enter. If there is no confirmation candle, do not enter. If news is about to release and spread widens, do not enter. If you are heated after a loss, do not enter. If you are in FOMO, do not enter. And when you see one of those signs, you do the hardest thing. You do nothing. You stay silent. You let the market move. You let others jump. You do not need to prove that you are participating. In trading, you are not paid for activity. You are paid for timing. Part 4. Lesson 4. Not every market movement deserves your energy. This is a very common mistake. Traders think they must watch everything, must react to every move, must understand every movement, must catch every opportunity. Sounds hard-working. But in reality, that is the fastest road to exhaustion, because your energy is not infinite. Your focus is not infinite. Your ability to stay calm is also not infinite. And every time you look at charts in stress, every time you enter an unclear trade, every time you react to a meaningless move, you are consuming the most valuable thing, the ability to make the right decision when the real moment comes. Meet Daniel. Daniel is the type of trader who always keeps charts open. Morning open, noon open, night open, before sleep also open. He watches every pip. One day Daniel traded 11 trades, not because there were 11 good setups, but because he saw 11 movements, and each movement made him feel something is happening. At the end of the day, Daniel's account did not blow, but his mind did. Tired, tense, irritated, unfocused. The next day, a truly beautiful setup appeared, but Daniel was no longer clear enough to see it properly. He entered late. Wrong stop, wrong management. Not because Daniel was bad, but because he had spent all his energy on things that did not matter. This is something very few people tell new traders. Trading is not a game of analysis. Trading is a game of energy and selection. You do not need to be right many times. You only need to be right on the times that truly matter. The solution for lesson 4: learn to protect energy like you protect capital. Create a simple habit. Each morning before opening charts, ask yourself, what am I only looking for today? Not everything. Only 1 or 2 things. For example, only trade pullbacks into zones. Only trade with M15 confirmation. Only trade during London session. Outside of those things, do nothing. It is do not search for opportunities. Do not guess tops and bottoms. Do not jump in out of boredom. You are not here to trade more. You are here to trade right. And a very important truth: amateur traders fear missing opportunities. Professional traders fear losing energy. Part 5. Lesson 5. The one who stays calm is the one who wins long term. In trading, it is not the smartest who wins. It is not the fastest who wins. The calmest is the one who remains at the end, because the market is a storm. News, volatility, fake break, stop hunt, spread widening, gap, flash move. If every win makes you panic, you will never go far. Meet Samuel. Samuel used to be a very emotional trader. Every sharp move made his heart jump. Every loss crushed his mood. Every win overexcited him. And those emotional peaks destroyed him. Until one day Samuel changed one small habit. Before each trading session, he sat still for 3 minutes, not looking at charts, just breathing. He trained his body to get used to calmness before entering chaos. At first, it felt meaningless. But after a few weeks, Samuel noticed something strange. The market was still the same, but his reactions were no longer the same. Sharp price moves no longer panicked him. Losing trades no longer made him lose control. He began to see more clearly, wait longer, trade less, and his account began to stabilize. Not because of a new strategy, but because of something much simpler. He learned how to stay calm. The solution for Lesson 5: build calm discipline. Here are a few very small but extremely powerful habits. Deep breathing before entering a trade. Do not trade in the first 2 minutes after opening charts. Do not trade right after a big loss. Do not trade when tired or sleep deprived. Sounds simple, but those simple things create sustainable traders. Because the truth is, when your body is tense, you cannot think clearly. And when you cannot think clearly, you will react. Part 6. Lesson 6. Reaction is a habit. Not reacting is also a habit. Many traders think one day they will naturally become disciplined. That does not happen. Discipline does not appear naturally. It is trained. Reaction is the same. You do not react because the market is strong. You react because you are used to reacting, used to pressing buttons fast, used to watching charts constantly, used to feeling you must do something, and anything repeated long enough becomes automatic. But the good news is that you can reprogram it. Meet Ryan. Ryan used to enter trades very quickly, almost by reflex. One day he decided to try a strange rule. Before every trade, he must write down the reason on paper. If not written, no trade. At first, Ryan felt uncomfortable because many trades had no real reason, only feeling. And that realization made him see, before I was not trading a system. I was trading emotions disguised as analysis. After 1 month, Ryan's number of trades dropped by half. But quality doubled because he turned not reacting into a new habit. The solution for Lesson 6. Create a mandatory pause. A very simple rule. Before entering a trade, answer 3 questions. Is this set up in my system? Where is the stop loss? If this trade loses, will I still be okay? If you cannot answer, clearly do not enter. That pause is where the power lies. Because reaction needs speed, but correct decisions need silence. Part 7. Lesson 7. What makes traders react the most is not the market, it is the ego. This is the hardest part to see, but also the most important. Many traders say they are afraid of losing money, but if you look deeper, they are not afraid of losing money. They are afraid of being wrong. They are afraid of the feeling that they analyzed wrong, that they read the market wrong, that they were not good enough. And when a trade goes against them, the ego begins to speak. Don't cut. Price will come back. Add more. Prove you are right. Move, stop just a little, just a little. Sound familiar? That is not strategy. That is the ego trying to survive. In trading, ego is very dangerous because the market does not care if you are right or wrong. The market just moves. But the ego cannot tolerate being wrong. And to avoid the feeling of being wrong, it makes you do things that destroy accounts. Meet Lucas. Lucas is a fairly intelligent trader, good analysis, strong knowledge. But Lucas has one habit. He does not accept stop loss. Every time price approaches stop, he moves it, not because of technical reason, but because a voice in his head says, I cannot be wrong that easily. One day, Lucas held a losing trade for 3 days. He did not sleep well, did not eat well, constantly checking price on his phone. Finally, he closed the trade with a loss 8 times larger than the original plan. The most painful thing was not the money. It was the moment he looked back and understood, I did not lose to the market. I lost to my ego. And here is a very hard truth. The smarter a trader is, sometimes the easier the ego destroys him. Because they are used to being right, used to controlling, used to understanding everything. But the market is a place where you must accept. You will be wrong many times. The solution for Lesson 7. Learn to let go of the need to be right. You do not need to be right in every trade. You only need to be right in the long run. A mature trader does not ask, was I right in this trade? They ask, was this trade correct according to process? If correct by process, then even a loss is still a good trade. That is a huge shift in mindset, from am I right or wrong to am I disciplined or not. And when you shift that perspective, you begin to feel free. You no longer need to prove, no longer need to recover immediately, no longer need to react. You only need to do your job. Part 8. Lesson 8. The strongest state in trading is the state of not needing to do anything. It sounds strange, but the most sustainable traders are not the ones who trade the most. They are the ones who can sit still the longest, not tense, not restless, not feeling lack. They do not need action to feel they are working. They understand something very deep. Money in trading does not come from activity. It comes from waiting at the right moment. Meet Adrian. Adrian used to be a very active trader, always looking for opportunities, always wanting to enter, until he met a mentor who said one very simple sentence: "The market pays for patience, not for busyness." That sentence changed Adrian. He began measuring a new metric, not number of pips, not number of trades, but the number of times he did not enter. And interestingly, his account began to stabilize as the number of doing nothing increased, because most bad trades disappear when you do not react. The solution for Lesson 8: practice conscious sitting still. Each day try opening charts and just observe for 10 minutes. No entering trades, no deep analysis. Just observe. Learn to get used to the market moving without needing to do anything. At first this is very difficult, because the brain is used to dopamine, used to action. But after some time, you will feel a new sensation: calmness. And when you trade from calmness, your decisions become very different. Part 9. Conclusion. If there is a real secret in trading, it is not in indicators, not in patterns, not in complex systems. It lies in this ability: not reacting. Not reacting to a candle, not reacting to a losing trade, not reacting to a bad day, not reacting to noise. Just observe, just follow the plan, just act when conditions truly appear. Sounds simple, but it is a form of strength very few people achieve, because humans are programmed to react. But successful traders are those who learn to go against that instinct. And when you do, something very beautiful happens. Trading is no longer fighting. It becomes observing. No more tension, only focus. No more panic, only clarity. And for the first time, you feel that you are no longer being dragged by the market. You stand still, steady, clear-minded. From that moment on, you are not just a trader. You are a person who has mastered himself, and that is the greatest profit.